probably as an adult looking back, like if my kid did that, I'd be like, that's a little bit worrying. Basically, if someone brings something techie to me and I'm like, ooh, that sounds like fun.
Welcome to the Grab a Coffee podcast. I'm Alice.
And I'm Francesca.
Catch up weekly with a coffee where we chat about life running small businesses, juggling motherhood,
and tangents ranging from holiday embarrassment to female hormones and everything in between.
Hello, everybody. Hello,
distracted
Kim.
then,
I'm distracted by the
dog's
puppy.
coming to the door.
I don't know why she's at the
She's
office.
like, oh, hi.
She's never at the office door.
Oh.
So today we've got Kim with us, who is a web designer. So we thought it'd be really interesting to chat about her and her business and how she helps people in the online space, I guess, add value to their business and get better exposure. So, Kim, do you want to just tell us a bit about your business and kind of how it started?
So yeah, like you said, I'm a web designer and actually general all-round techie person. Like I am that person. Nice. I love a techie problem. When people come to me like, oh yeah, I've been trying to do this, and I'm like, ooh, give it to me.
Tell me more.
Yes. What have you tried so far?
Well, I've turned it off and on again.
Just don't ask me how to fix your printer because I haven't got a clue. Can't even get mine to work.
I binned mine when I found out ink was £74.
Oh yeah, that's a whole of the podcast episode. That is.
Anyway,
right.
So yeah, I'm a web designer, all-round tech person for online service providers. So as long as you don't as long as your whole business isn't around just selling like products, I'm your person with your website. Products. When you're listing like hundreds of products on a website, it gets a bit monotonous, I think, is probably the diplomatic word to use. And I like to focus on being as inclusive and as accessible as possible, because as a woman who has been in the tech industry, which as you can imagine is very male dominated. So I used to be a software engineer. I used to be one of those people who'd sit and write code all day long. The only thing I miss from corporate life. I don't need to do quite as much of that these days. But yeah, it can feel very exclusive, and I don't want my business to feel that way. So I build websites that are as accessible and inclusive as possible, but also I like to make my processes, so how people work with me, as accessible and inclusive as possible, whether it's, really flexible payment plans, or whether it's, if they have like proper access needs. Like web designers, we have to ask you for loads of stuff. We have to ask you for words, pictures, colours, all that jazz. There's no getting around it. But some people struggle with that because it can feel overwhelming. Yeah. It can feel like a lot of stuff. They're like, oh my God, I've got all this homework to do. Can you just build me this?
Creative, minded. Like my husband can't visualise. He physically cannot visualise like a colour scheme. Or if I said to him, I'm thinking of painting whatever room this colour, he doesn't know what it's going to look like. And it's taken me a long time to understand that because I'm a very creative person. I can describe how I'm going to do a room, and I have, I'm decorating my daughter's room at the moment, and I have such a clear vision. It's almost like I've got a photograph in my mind of what it's going to look like. But if you're working with someone who can't visualise, how are they going to be... They can't say, oh, I want this colour on my website. So then I guess you have to lead it and kind of go... And they have to trust you.
Yeah, and do you know what? I talk about this a lot with regards to when I'm talking about like how I market my business, actually, because I when you compare it to, let's say, social media manager, when you hire someone to do your social media, you know that they're going to put some words together, they're going to give you a picture or a graphic or do something like that, and maybe they might post it to Instagram or LinkedIn. But when you hire someone to do something technical, whether it's building a website or whether it's, fixing a problem that you've got, it because it's not tangible, I think the trust required is a lot more, because you're like, are they going to do it? How will I know if they've done the thing that I've hired them to do? Because there's so much that kind of goes on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and if you don't understand tech, like most people who come to you, presumably they're coming to you because they can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
And yeah, they won't know if it's quote unquote done or done properly. Whereas if someone's decorating your house, you can see with your eyes that they've done a good job. How did you? Obviously, you've already mentioned like, oh, you're in a very male-dominated industry. How did you get into that? Like, was it through? Have you always been interested in it? Like at school, did you do a degree in it? Take us all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, so actually, right, when I was in school, I decided that I was going to go into sport. I was going to do something related to sport because I love sport. So I actually did the first year of a sports science degree.
Oh,
But I remember a couple of weeks after I applied, I was like, there was just something that's like, have I made a mistake here? Should I have done something tech related? But I think, what was I, 17, 18 at the time, and it kind of felt like it's too late to do anything now. So I kind of went, okay, great. This is what I wanted. This is the thing that I've been talking about forever.
when you're that age as well, you think that whatever you choose, that's like forever.
Oh my God,
And the
so
school
much.
make out like it's so like this is it for the rest of your
this
life.
is the rest of your life. All your decisions now, all your
Yeah, and
grades now.
actually, like I have a language degree, and I've not spoken either of those languages for 10 years. But I just loved languages at the time, so I was good at it. So I got a good degree.
Yeah.
You got to do what you enjoy at the time, haven't you?
Well, that's it, and that's what they say. They say, don't they? They say like, do something that you enjoy because degree skills are transferable.
Yeah.
But it quickly became apparent to me that sports science was not my bag. It was probably not going to be the career for me. And so I was like, right, okay, what shall I do instead? And I was like, oh well, I kind of like tech stuff. I'm very logical. And my boyfriend, now husband, at the time was he was doing a games design degree. And would you believe that he hated that as well? So yeah. So we both like did the first years of degrees that we hate and then switched. He's now a maths teacher, would you believe? Yeah.
Which uni were you at, Kim?
So I was at Liverpool John Moores and he was at Sheffield Hallam. And so I was like, right, what's going on in Sheffield Hallam that I can do? So I actually, not only did I change degree, but I completely moved city and university as well. So yeah, I mean, probably as an adult looking back, like if my kid did that, I'd be like, that's a little bit worrying that you're moving to a completely different city and university just because that's where your now boyfriend is.
But was it just because
you were still doing your degrees. That'd be okay.
Yeah.
As a parent, that'd be fine.
Also, like presumably you'd been visiting him in Sheffield, so you probably felt comfortable
at home there.
Yeah, you knew the city because you've been going for weekends to see him. So I can see why you would do that. My husband, then boyfriend, changed degrees as well, but I was at uni in Kent and he was at UCL in London, and then he ended up at Sheffield Uni. But away from Doncaster, so he kind of just ended up quite closer.
Going back north.
Going back home, basically.
My husband.
So what degree did you end up doing, Kim? Did you end up doing web developing?
So I did software engineering.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it sounds a lot more fancy than it's one of those, right? So it got to a point where, like, because like when you're a student and you're talking to people and they're like, oh, so what are you doing? And it's like, I'd tell people, oh yeah, I'm doing software engineering. I'd get one of two reactions. One of like, oh, and then change the subject. Or people just like, yeah, I've got no idea what that is. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I only know kind of what it is because my husband now works in like data, like analytics. He's always done like data analytics. So he obviously works with like data engineers and software engineers and stuff. So that's the only reason that I know vaguely what it entails. But for the listeners, what sort of stuff does it entail?
Basically, you write a load of computer code and it makes computers do stuff. That's the really kind of layman's term. So stuff like yeah, there's so many different things because just like spoken languages, there are loads of different computer languages, and they all have different things that they lend themselves to. In my corporate job, we built software that we used in the NHS, and that basically it lived in Internet Explorer back then. So,
Oh God.
yeah, and so yeah, it would schedule like kids' immunisations. There was some mental health stuff you could
Wow.
prescribe, book appointments, all that kind of stuff. And so we were continuously improving it and adding extra features and all that kind of thing.
What year? When did you graduate? Just to give us kind of like an idea of what.
2011,
Okay.
and actually my degree was a sandwich degree. So my third year, so it was a 4-year course, and in my third year, I went on work placement for a year, and I eventually that company took me on when I graduated as well. So I was kind of doing that like throughout my at points during my degree as well.
Okay. Cool. So. So we've graduated. You're in the corporate job. So you've gone from a male-dominated degree to a male-dominated
Yeah.
corporate job. Were you still in Sheffield at this point? And then how did you end up becoming a web designer then?
Once I
Going
graduated,
from corporate self-employed is a big jump.
it's a massive jump, but it's the way I explain it is it felt like a massive anticlimax. Like I felt like my whole life had been building up to go to university, graduate, get a job, and I just had this massive sense of like, is this it? Is this it now for like the rest of my life? And so you do the thing. So you get married, you have kids, and I hate how cliche this sounds. I hate it. But when my daughter came, that was it. Like priorities completely
They
changed.
do, yeah.
And
How old are your children?
they've just turned 6 and 11. So yeah, and to kind of give you a little bit of perspective, so my family and my husband's family we're originally from North Wales, living here, and we're still in South Yorkshire now. So we are, a couple of hours away from our parents. I've got a brother-in-law who's in Manchester, but basically we're effectively here on our own.
Yeah, you don't have that support network.
Compared to like when I grew up, I spent so much time with my grandparents while my parents were working. Yeah. So we're here on our own, and it really took its toll on me having to leave my daughter at nursery. Like she was happy, but knowing that she was with strangers.
Instead of with you, yeah.
Yeah, and like my commute was ridiculous, right? So on a normal day, my commute would have been 10 minutes, like literally 7 miles down the dual carriageway, and I would have been at the office. But when you're travelling into Sheffield at rush hour, that 10 minutes was 40 minutes. And yeah. And I'm just like, do you know what? I just, this isn't doing it for me. I'm not, this is not how I envisaged
like this
my life to be. Because it'd be like, drop her off at 8 and like, quickly run out of nursery, get in the car.
Yeah. Get there for 9.
As fast as and everything just felt like stressful and rushed. And I'm just like, this isn't it. And so I thought, well, you know what, I've had 10 months out of the workforce having my daughter. I'm probably a bit rusty. And so I started a blog. I thought, you know what, this is a tech thing that I can, use, maybe hone my skills. And I was just looking for another job. That's it. I was like, what can I do that will make me a little bit more employable after having an extended time out? And I was like, well, actually, there are people who make money from blogs. And then from that, I was like, oh, there are people who make money, like they work for themselves. All they need is a computer. Like, back in the day, and I'm talking like our parents' generation, if you wanted to run a business, it's a bricks and mortar business. You needed some money up front to do
Yeah.
it. Whereas literally,
Yeah.
I've got skills and an internet connection.
You can just
and
do it from your living room.
I can sell stuff. I can sell my services. With basically no startup capital needed, and I can do it on the side, build it up while I'm in my day job, and that's essentially how we got here.
Wow.
Brilliant. Excellent.
I think that's when a lot of people become self-employed. Like, that's when we became self-employed, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, I
like when you just realise that
can't have
it's
3 kids and work 9 to 5.
it's just so hard to. I have one child and couldn't work 9 to 5. Like,
Well, yeah.
it's. I mean, it's doable. Obviously, so many people do
Yeah,
it. Like,
of
all my
course.
friends do it, but I don't think it suits everybody. But then I equally don't think that self-employment suits everybody. Like, I think some people just not they wouldn't be good at it, but it takes a certain kind of person to be self-employed. Probably a bit of a more of a risk taker, and you have got to back yourself, obviously.
Yeah.
And really put yourself out there. And some people like the assurity of just going to work, getting paid at the end of each month. But for me, I find it more valuable to be able to pick my daughter up from nursery whatever time of day I want to pick her up. Like, to be able to not put her in nursery one day. Like, she's starting school in September, so I'm so excited that I don't have to put her in before an after school club. I can, and if there's specific clubs that she wants to do because of her interests, I will put her in. But it's such a nice feeling. Like, I've got friends, like, we all got the school places through last week, and they're all like scrabbling around trying to get childminders who do wraparound care, trying to start before and after school clubs because they all get oversubscribed. And the mental load that adds on to a mum, and I'm going to go and say on the mum because I don't think any of the dads really consider that. It's immense. So I feel like I'm in such a privileged position that I'm just floating around like, yeah, well, I'll just see what's on the agenda, and if she wants to do one, she can do one.
Instead of needing that to actually go to work.
Yeah, instead of it being like a necessity and then another stress added on to the already massive mental load. So how long have you kind of been self-employed for now, Kim?
So I handed in my notice in February 2019.
So you were running both business. You were doing both for a long time then.
Yeah, and I will say I really should not have quit my job back then. My business was nowhere near paying what I needed it to, but very thankfully I've got a very supportive and patient husband who was his wage covered the bills, so it was, it wasn't a massive thing, but yeah, even then it wasn't really, I wasn't really running it full time. Like, it was my sole focus, but obviously, you know what it's like when you're working around your kids. I mean, my daughter, we were eligible for like 30 hours childcare at that point, so she could have gone to nursery all week if I'd wanted her to. But then it's like you were saying, the whole point of being self-employed is that you can be around a little bit more. So she wasn't in nursery full time, and I wasn't working at it full time, and then I was pregnant with my son as well, and pregnancy makes me very, very sick. So it wasn't an easy pregnancy either. So I'm just like, it was great, obviously, because we wanted a second child, but also trying to juggle that and trying to run a business as well. Because in the back of my head, I'm like, I've been self-employed for nearly 12 months now, not making as much money as I want to be making, and all this, that, and the other. And like, because my daughter had started school, and I'm like, yes, this is it. Oh, right, pregnant, right, okay. Not quite what I was hoping for, but there we go. But yeah, it's been my sole focus since 2019, but not technically full time.
Yeah. Do you feel like because for me, when I became self-employed, which was when was it? Yeah, about 2020, 2021, I really struggled with moving away from it being like a side hustle mentality to this is my job. And I still do now. Like, I would spend a lot more of the day doing bits around the house than my husband would. But I've got much better in recent, I would say even like months, like not even years, but it's taken me a long time to get to this point where I can actually prioritize and be like, right, no, I've got to do my work because this is my job. I think, like, as a mum as well, you want to be like really good at everything, do everything. Some days you just have to like know that no, I'm not doing housework today because that's not my job. You're not paid to do housework. And you know, if you're not advertising, if you're not selling, you're not gonna make money for your business. And I think that that shift from like, oh, this is quite nice and it's bringing in a bit of money to actually this is my job is quite difficult. Do you feel like that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I did in the beginning, but I quickly got over that. I don't know whether it's because I'm quite focused on it. Like I actually put an Instagram story on yesterday showing the path to my desk, and it was strewn with like Meccano and Lego and stuff, and I literally just stepped over it because I'm like, I don't have time to deal with that now. I've just got to block it out because I've got a load of work on, and I will deal with that once I'm done and I've picked up the school and mum mode begins.
That's good. That's really good. You've got that boundary.
Yeah. Boundaries on lots of things are so important. But yeah, that is one thing. Like between the hours of 9 and 2:30, that is work time. Nothing else happen. Like maybe, you know, if there's something that has to be done during the day, I don't know if I've got to make an important phone call or whatever. But other than, you know, a very extreme situation, between those hours, it's work time.
Yeah.
Gosh, you're so disciplined.
Well done.
Yeah, we're not like that.
No, we have to go. We have to go to cafes and sit in silence next to each other.
We literally like go and like co-work to get work done. No, not that I can't work in the home, but I genuinely do find it really hard. And I don't know why. I just don't know why I find it so hard. I think I do. I think I've got undiagnosed ADHD, so I get very easily distracted. And I'll start a task, and then even when I'm doing housework, I'll be walking, doing one thing, and find something else to do, and like none of the original task.
Just you wait till perimenopause hits.
No, don't. I'll be even worse
because it will be so heightened, and if you have got ADHD, you're going to be in a right mess.
I might, I'll have to get checked before, but I never suspected that I did have ADHD until I became self-employed, and then I feel like the symptoms started showing more. And I started reading about it more, and it's talked about more, isn't it? And I think that obviously girls do mask it a lot more than boys.
I suspect
Presents differently.
I suspect that I have a diagnosed ADHD as well, and for me it was when the kids come along, because I think it was I could quite happily manage myself. But then when you've got an extra person or two that you've then got to manage, and it just adds to the noise, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah,
What,
I get it.
Do you literally like say to yourself like 9 to 5 is work time?
9 till 2:30, yeah.
Sorry, 9 till 2:30.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that. Yeah. So yeah. Gosh.
And I mean, for me, I think it's people can take this however they want, but it's, for me, the hyper focus is on the income, it's on the money that's coming in. And I think that's how I can focus so well on it. It's like, right, I need to make this much money so that we can do A, B, and C. Therefore, I need to get through. And as a service provider, most of my income is me doing stuff. So if I'm not doing stuff, then I'm not making money. So I think that's kind of how I manage it. And I'm one of those people where I both love and hate routine at the same time. Like
oh, that's like me. Yeah.
If I've not got routine, I have no idea where I am, what I'm doing. So part of it is that, but I also am like, oh God, I did this yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, very interesting.
So, what does what tell us about like a typical day in a web designer work? Like, what sort of stuff? Like today, for example, what sort of stuff are you working on today for people?
So various different things. So I'm currently in the process of building a website for a client, and it's a little bit different to what I normally do, because all I have to do is build the site. I've not had to design it. She's come through referral, and she's like, oh, I've the person who's doing my branding and stuff. They're going to design the website. I just need you to build it. I'm like, ooh, that sounds like fun. Basically, if someone brings something techie to me and I'm like, ooh, that sounds like fun, I pretty much do it. So that's the main thing. But I've also got a couple of other client websites that I'm kind of updating and reviewing and updating the messaging on. So for me, I'm not a copywriter, but I know what works on a website. And so I've got a couple of clients, they're like, this just isn't working for me, and it doesn't feel like me right now. And so I'm like, right, okay, let's have a look. And I'm like, yeah, definitely. Right, okay, tell me. Because I had one client, she won't mind me saying this, but she was like, to me, her messaging was very vague. Like, yes, I help ambitious founders.
So fluffy, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I get it. I get what you're trying to say, but that is a little bit too vague. And using terms like alignment, like people. I apologise if you like the word alignment. People love to use the word alignment in the online space.
Oh,
but I'm like,
and your best self.
Yeah. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm like, oh, I'm going to help you scale. I'm like, what? Again, what does that mean? Are you helping me scale from one?
Yeah, you must see so much fluff.
Oh, yeah. And so I'm doing a lot of, and I'm actually really enjoying that, because I'm getting into the really nitty gritty of like, right, okay, what is it that you do right now? And what is it that you want your website to do to support that? Because that's the thing that people miss with websites. They just think, oh, I just need a website. I just need a digital brochure. But actually, no. I need to
do
know
mine today and tomorrow, actually.
You need to know what exactly, what is it that you want this website to do for you? Is it you just want it to be optimized so people find you via Google? Great. Or is it actually when they get there, you want them to book a call, or you want them to buy your thing? If you don't know what that is, then we can't build the website to support it. And a lot of the time you could probably look at two different websites, and the difference will be very subtle between them as to what they're doing, but there will be a difference depending on the business goals. And also, like, people just like to think of your website as one and done, but actually your website should change with the seasons of your business as well. So let's say Q1, you're focusing on selling your one-to-one program. Once you've sold out your one-to-one program and you've not got any capacity, then it doesn't really make sense for your website to be set up for that. You then want to go, okay, what's the next sales priority? And you then kind of tweak it. And I'm not saying you need to rebuild your website every quarter.
No, just edit it.
But what I'm saying is, you just need to kind of look at, right, okay, what is it that we're looking at, that we're trying to sell right now? And how do we make the website support us? So, it's not massive, but there will be like subtle differences in like the call to actions and the whole strategy behind it.
Oh. So a client of yours wouldn't just have you build and go. You stay with them and keep changing. And is that like a contract? And you're constantly working for them and updating and checking and.
In an ideal world, that would be it. But it's not. We don't live in an ideal world. And one thing that I am very, very clear about is that when I build a website for a client, I don't want them to feel like they're tied to me forever, because that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't want to be one of those people who charges you an arm and a leg just to change a picture or a sentence. It just doesn't sit with me. So how I like to position it is right, I've built you your website. Here is everything that you need to manage that going forward, if that's what you want. And, good luck to you if that's what you choose. But if you would rather go, do you know what?
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Because
This is what you need to do for the future. Good luck with that.
but if the thought of that just makes you go, no, can't be dealing with it, or I'm just too busy, then here is how we can work together. And I think
That's a nicer way of selling it.
yeah, I think choice is really important, because I have seen a lot of people get burned. Like, I had one client, the business isn't there anymore, but she come to me and she's like, oh, Kim, I want to make some changes to this. I'm like, okay, just pass me the logins and I'll have a look. And I'm like, yeah, you don't even have full access to the back end of your website. And that makes me really annoyed, because just because it's not a tangible thing that you can physically hold in your hands, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have full control over it. Like, if you want to make the background fluorescent pink, probably wouldn't advise it, but ultimately you paid for it, you bought it, you own it, you want to do that, go for it. And it makes people laugh when I use that kind of example, but ultimately that's it. You buy a house, if you want to paint it pink, then you can paint it pink. Why should your website be any different? Wouldn't that be amazing?
I like a pink house.
Oh, absolutely. It bothers me that you get these people who are almost trying to gatekeep, like,
yes.
like they don't want you to change their perfect work, and it's like, well, no, that it just doesn't make sense to me, and I don't
like. They're gatekeeping it from the business owner.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
terrible.
What? You've got your money, off you go.
That's
like,
terrible.
Why do you need to do this? And it's so rife in the industry. Like, I don't want to get on my soapbox, but like, this is why I do what I do.
Get on it, Kim.
It just winds me up, because like I'm all about fairness, and that doesn't seem fair to me. Like, if you've paid for it, that's it. It's yours. And for someone to go, oh no, actually, I'm not giving you full control of that.
We both operate in a similar way, don't we? Like, we are obviously very different. So Francesca has her baby classes, massage, and yoga, and obviously I'm a PT online coach. But both of us, we want to teach people and give them the tools to then fly the nest and do it themselves.
Yeah.
You don't, like, I don't want someone, and I actually spoke to someone about this last week on a call, I don't want people to have to be coming to me, like, until the end of time. I want to coach you and train you and educate you so that whenever you feel confident doing so, you can go, actually, I can do this by myself now. Like, for me, that is an amazing achievement.
You've done your bit properly.
I've done that. And I think that comes from, like, my mum a bit as well, because she used to be a driving instructor when me and my sister were growing up again, self-employed, because fits around children. I remember her like making a joke to my dad, saying, "Oh, just keep putting myself out of business because all of her clients were passing." But in the driving instructing industry, there's also a big thing, and I don't know if it's as bad now, but I remember then it was. They would they would hold their pupils back to get more lessons out of them, to get more money out of them. Whereas her mindset was, well, if they pass really quickly and are really happy with my service, then they'll just recommend me to more people. Then and this was, God, like the 2000s. So, like, it was literally word of mouth. Like, she mainly got paid in cash or by check. Like,
I used to pay my driving instructor with a check.
Yeah, like, it was like a long time ago. So she didn't, we didn't have social media. So she didn't have social media. Her advertising was like the signs on the side of her car kind of
Card
thing.
in the post office?
Yeah, probably. And like literally business cards. So she was so reliant on word of mouth that, her mindset was, well, if I do a really good job and someone passes and then can go off and drive their car, then they'll be really happy with the service. And that's how I feel about my business as well. Like, I don't want you to feel beholden to me and like almost like trapped because it doesn't sit right at all.
No, and like you say, like I think especially like if you want to, any marketing is expensive. And whether it's time or money, marketing is expensive. But when you do a good job and you work in a way that is transparent and fair, people will do that marketing for you for free.
Yeah, exactly. Recommendations are so valuable.
Yeah, definitely. I remember that starting out. It took a while for that word of mouth to start, but people would start talking about me in other classes in groups of mums, and I'd get, oh, my sister came to you, my friend came to you.
It's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, it's great that they've thought, they might have enjoyed themselves, but they've thought of it enough to say, I really liked this baby class, go to this one. That started, and it still happens, which is really nice. But the thought of paying someone to create something for me and then never actually owning it or having control of it just seems really wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong.
Yeah.
Kim, where do you get most of your clients from? Because obviously you're a web designer, so presumably your website is the bomb.
Yeah, who are your customers?
But like, do you get more? I get most of mine from social media.
Word of mouth is massive for me. Because again, it's that trust element. Because if someone you trust has worked with me, then and had a good experience, then that kind of already that level of trust is there between us, because you know it's all right for me going, yeah, I'm amazing at this, but when someone that you know has gone, yeah, actually Kim did that for me and she was, you know, the bomb, it just gives people that extra bit of confidence. And you know, trust is massive in everything that we do, isn't it, as small business owners?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, completely. It's a big pressure though that hangs on everything, doesn't it? Every tiny little thing that you do is that someone could go and say that to someone else. One tiny slip up or one small thing, so that there is a huge pressure there for that.
Yeah.
But and when you're learning, you do make mistakes. Running a business, there's things I do with my coaching that's so different from when I started.
That's just naturally evolving. It's not a mistake.
Yeah. How's your business evolved, Kim, over the past few years?
Massively. So the first iteration of my business, I wasn't even a web designer. I marketed myself as a tech VA, and it's just kind of evolved from there. Like,
a tech VA.
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, people get, you know, like you see people celebrating business birthdays like on socials and stuff, and I'm like, I've got no idea.
That's just for likes.
Yeah, it's just for likes. Yeah.
I've got no idea when my business actually started, or you know, I don't know. I started to blog in 2016, and I'm a web designer now.
You could do a big post, 10 years of blogging.
Yeah.
No, I do it on my business socials because the other businesses like mine do it. The bigger the number gets, it's like, wow, she can be trusted. She's been going that long.
Yeah,
it's for engagement. Yeah. It's for all of that. It really isn't.
It does.
For any
I guess
other reason.
It does. Yeah.
It's a social media thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but I guess it does show kind of like, yeah, you've been trusted by customers for X amount of time.
Yeah.
And
so Zen Babies is 5, but I always add in that I've been teaching baby classes since 2014.
Yeah.
Because I want them to really feel like they've in good
getting
hands.
That experience.
Yeah.
What's the most difficult client request you've had to deal with, Kim? Let's go for a spicy question.
Yeah.
Don't tell me everyone's really nice.
Oh, everyone's just lovely.
Do you know what? There's only one client that I've had to sack.
Tell us more.
Honestly, at the time, it was almost the end of my business because it made me so anxious. I applied for 2 jobs. I got 2 phone calls because I'd applied for jobs because I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
No.
Oh, no.
They were very demanding. Do you know what? So I had the discovery call, and then at the end of after the call had ended, you know when you just get that feeling and you're just like, I don't think this is for me.
Yeah.
But I ignored it. I ignored it, and I went with it because again they'd come from a recommendation.
It's money.
Yeah, well, basically they were a client of one of my clients at the time, and so in the back of my mind I'm like, oh God, what is this going to impact? You know, if I turn this down, is this going to impact this relationship? And my client at the time was a very long-standing client. Knowing what I know now, the problem client had a tendency to hire the people who worked with her mentor, and was a right pain in the backside with all of them. So it wasn't just me, but you know, at the time, you know, because it can feel very lonely, and you're like, especially when you're having problems with someone, you don't want to talk to other people about it because it feels like you're telling people that you're a failure. Like, oh my God, I'm having terrible issues with this client, and I just feel awful. And it's like it must be me, right? And actually, it really wasn't me. And yeah, I was.
What were they doing?
It was just like, so they'd want to get on. First off, they wanted a website very similar to an existing website, which isn't the worst thing in the world, because I'm like, right, okay, I know what you like, but it was getting to the point where it was a little bit too much like the other one. I'm like, you know, you're gonna get done for copyright here. Yeah, your pictures are different, but the layout is so similar. And then they'd be like, oh, let's get on a call, and they'd want me to make live changes on the call, and I'd do that. And then the following day, they'd want another call to redo the changes that I'd just undone. And it's just like, this is just demanding too much. And she'd gone through about 3 graphic designers in this time as well. So again,
a red flag.
Yeah. And then it got to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to do what she said. I'm just going to do what she says. I'm not going to be the whole, well, I don't recommend that we do this because A, B, and I'm just going to do what she says. And then I'm like, do you know what? The time that I'm spending on this is just not worth what I've quoted. It's just my hourly rate has gone through the floor, and I'm just done. And I'm like, do you know what? And I'm just like, I don't think this is working out. And I literally, the terms of our contract said that if the contract ended, that I'd keep like 10%. I'm like, do you know what? I'm just giving you a full refund. Please just go away and leave me alone.
Yeah, sometimes it's the best way.
But yeah, I mean, touch wood, that's the only really bad experience I've had with the client, which, yeah, is good, really.
You'll be more heightened to it now. You'll be more like...
And trust your gut next time.
Yeah, you'll trust your gut, definitely.
Hopefully they're few and far between.
I didn't think, like, when I started out, I just took on anybody, and, like, it was hard. Like, now I get the dreamiest clients because I know how to market to them. I genuinely do. I get women who want to get strong, like, who are committed. I remember, like, a few years ago, working, like, with one, because I previously didn't have the group program, just one-to-one online. And I had clients who would, they didn't have children. They worked from home 3 to 4 days a week and still managed to make excuses for not being able to do, like, 20-minute home workouts.
Blimey!
And the way that I coach is we do, for one-to-one, we do a call, so like just a phone call check-in, rather than a lot of coaches, they send you a check-in form and then they just send you recorded feedback. But I find you can, like, dig a lot deeper in an actual conversation, and stuff gets missed on the check-in form, so you can just get into it a bit better. So then every week it's just having the same conversation about, I just, you know, my motivation, but it's because I was just marketing to the wrong people, or not marketing to anybody, so I was just getting anybody, and that drained me so much. Whereas now, when I have calls with my clients and they're like smashing it, and I'm like buzzing, like, you're a dream. I do have clients like that where you just think, oh God, I love working with this person.
Oh yeah, I've had a couple. I've had a couple of projects come in recently, and you know when you're just like, oh my god,
yeah, and then you're like, run away from me.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to start on this. Yeah.
So it's word of mouth, but where do you have anywhere? Like, are you mastering Instagram? Are you on any other socials, or are you in that world of web developing? Is there like a place where you can advertise? Are you actually trying to advertise as well?
I do spend a fair bit of time on Instagram. I think again because what I do is quite visual. I think it's really important.
Your page is really nice. I'll show Francesca.
Oh, I need to see it.
It's very visually pleasing. It's very visually pleasing. Yeah, it's really nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like it.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, and I also feel like I can see all of that before tapping on it. It's really clear.
It really shows her personality. She's so smiley as well.
That's such a welcoming. Kept mentioning pink. You like pink.
Such a welcoming Instagram page.
It is.
And it's funny because I was having a conversation the other day with my mentor, and she's like, "Oh, so how are you feeling about Instagram these days?" I'm like, "Do you know what? I can take it or leave it." And she's like, "Yeah, I think that's kind of like the best you can get to." Because there was a time where I'm like, "Why is no one in my DMs? Why is no one commenting?
Yeah.
Because at one point that was it, wasn't it? That was the holy grail, is like having people, you know, in your DMs and all this. And now I'm like, yeah, if people in my DMs, great. If not, great. It's all right.
It's stressful though, isn't it? Because you want people in your when you're still trying to earn that money, you're so reliant on leads coming through your DMs.
Yeah.
And then that's where, so for me, it was like, I love coaching, but I quickly realised I'm not a marketing person. I'm not a social media manager. I'm not I have turned into a salesperson, but like you realise that you've got to put on so many different hats. It's not just doing the thing you enjoy doing. What do you struggle with the most, Kim? Is it the marketing?
Yeah, marketing is the thing, because it's like, yeah, this isn't why I started my business.
Yeah, and
my own experiences, like we've all made bad investments in the past, and well, I'm pretty sure it's not just me.
No, it's not just you.
But it's really hard to work out who are the people who are so good at what they do, and who are the people who are just good marketers. And I think there is.
Yeah.
That's it. But
there's been a few moments.
That's the thing, because you know you see all these people and you're like, oh yeah, God, I bet they're really good to work with. And then I look back in the past and I think, well, there's been people I've worked with in the past who seem to be really good to work with, but then I've worked with them, and I'm not saying they're bad at what they do, but they weren't the right person for me to work with. And it's
like, you've got to find the right fit.
Well, that's it. And it's trying to find, you know, because back in the day, I say back in the day, like it wasn't 5 years ago, there was a lot of like income marketing and like, oh yeah, make 6 figures in 6 months. And you know, when you're coming out of corporate and you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I need. You know, I've quit my job. I'm making like less than 300 quid a month from my business. I really need, you know, to make a fair bit of money, and you're promising me that. I suppose there's a bit of like naivety and gullibility in it. And I'm like, oh, I kind of look back at myself.
20k months. Oh, so bollocks, isn't it? Who is your mentor, Kim?
I work with Kate Kerjay of Olivier Consultancy. She's recently pivoted. She's now, if you look for her on Instagram, she's very much helping people plan profitable retreats. But she does still work with people kind of on like the back end of their businesses and the strategy and the structure and how things work. And she's great. I mean, she now lives in Spain. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, that's life goals. That's life goals. I'd love to live in Spain.
Do you actually want to move abroad? Would you leave South Yorkshire?
Yeah, I mean, my husband
I'm
and
from South Yorkshire, so I love South Yorkshire.
Yeah, we like it here, but I think the goal has always been once the kids are grown up, once they've left home, if that ever happens, in the current climate, we talked about moving back home to the Welsh coast, and then like in the middle of like November and December when it's all like the weather's naff and cold and wet. And I'm like, why? How amazing would it be to go somewhere? It might not be like 30 degrees all year round.
No, but it's not drizzling every day.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But it's not raining every day. And I'm like, it does kind of, I don't know whether it will be something that we actually do pursue. But I like the thought of it kind of sitting there in the back of my head, like, maybe one day maybe we could move to Spain or Portugal or somewhere where it doesn't rain 90% of the year.
Yeah. When you see the number of days rain they get in some parts of Spain, it's like 30 rainy days a year, and you just think, Jesus Christ, we have 30. We had 30 in January.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't it rain like every single day for like 6 weeks after
something
Christmas?
like that?
It really felt like it was something insane. There was like a new record, wasn't there? It was insane.
At one point, I remember reading a stat. It was something like 6 or 8 weeks into the new year, and Sheffield hadn't had a full hour of sunshine in that period of time. Like,
Oh,
what?
Oh
What
my
is
God. I do love Sheffield. Spent a lot of time there because Liam was at uni there. My cousin lives in Sheffield now, which is funny because he's actually from Kent. So my cousin who's from Kent and went to a grammar school in Kent now works at an awful secondary school in Doncaster and lives in Sheffield, which is quite funny. And then my sister now lives in London, so they've done like a swap.
Can you say what the secondary school is? 'Cause my husband works in a secondary school in Doncaster.
Really? And he teaches maths as well. My cousin teaches maths.
Oh.
when we stop recording, you can
I'll
give
tell
me
you at the end. Yeah, maybe.
Give me the goss.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, probably. I've said it's awful, so I better not say the name.
No,
It's awful. He loves it because it's so like challenging.
it's more
very
rewarding.
But it's like it just blows his mind. Like, I remember in like his first few months, he was coming with like telling us all these stories. Like the kids like climbing on the roof of the school, and he's like literally blowing his mind. He just couldn't fathom that. Like, why? But why? Why are they doing that? It's like, yeah, because they're bored and have no path shown to them and no kind of goals.
Yeah.
He's really involved in the Duke of Edinburgh now, so he takes them like all around the Peak District, and he's massively grown. I think he's getting an award actually for like an actual Duke of Edinburgh award because he's like grown it so much at that school. Yeah, so he's given like that school so much, and he keeps toying with like leaving, and obviously teaching salaries are shit, but he does love it.
Yeah, well, my husband's recently moved school a couple of years ago, but yeah, the first school he was in a very deprived part of Doncaster. And I remember when he first started teaching, so he'd been there a good 15 years, but so going back 15 years, so in the 2011s, 2012s, and he's like, this school is like so underfunded that there isn't a computer per kid in a class. And when you just kind of like,
yeah,
mind blown. But now he's moved to a different school and he's now the pupil premium lead, so he still gets to work with the slightly less advantaged kids within that school, and he finds it incredibly fulfilling.
It is fulfilling, but I couldn't do it.
No,
I honestly could not be a teacher.
Absolutely
I don't know how to do it.
No,
I wouldn't want to be a teacher, but I fancied a job that I saw recently, and it was the I love how they word this, reflection room manager, where they have to sit and think about their actions.
there's very little reflection going on in that room.
Manager, that's hilarious.
I know, but I quite fancied that. Obviously, I didn't apply for it, but
I
go through these phases, and I thought, no, actually, with the right training and what you could actually hopefully change in that room, maybe help
you
them.
could help a lot of children.
Yes, I think so. I think it would be rewarding to do that.
Gosh. Reflection room manager.
I love it.
Imagine going to a dinner party. What do you do? I'm a reflection room manager.
See, I'm not sure.
A room of mirrors manager?
Yeah, that's the one. It's all lovely. So
Working
my
up
nearly
there.
15-year-old got off sent to reflect on her actions.
Did she? Daisy, what did she do?
She was late. I know, it's crap, isn't it? So she went into what they call isolation.
Sorry I was late. I was busy crocheting.
She was. Oh, God, no. I don't know, but that's, yeah.
Probably was. Oh,
So-
I was feeding the rabbit.
Off she went to isolation. She came home. She loved it. She didn't have to do PE because it happened to be a PE day, which she thought was fantastic. Someone went and got her a sandwich because they're not allowed to leave and socialise. So she ate. She didn't like the cheese sandwich because she doesn't eat meat, so she couldn't have anything else. She didn't have to do her lessons in order, so she chose to do Spanish. So she got loads of Spanish work done that she wanted to do. Absolutely loved it. Away from all the idiots.
So now she wants to be in isolation.
Yeah. So we've had a little chat about how it looks on her college applications and can she please not get isolation again for being late and to actually get out of bed properly. But it wasn't really working. But anyway, I've completely changed the subject. But it was just like,
That's
doesn't actually work
ridiculous.
for everyone in the same way. And
That's
she
ridiculous.
enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed having that peace and quiet away from the riffraff.
She did.
It must have been a good day in isolation, though, because normally all the riffraff are in isolation.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
a
That's
bit of a
funny.
social, but anyway, yeah.
Kim, is there anything you would say to someone? Obviously, you touched on that you were juggling corporate and starting up your business at the same time. Is there anything you would have done differently, and any like advice you would give to someone else who's wanting to go into self-employment?
I think in hindsight, I would have stayed in corporate just a little bit longer, just so that I felt like, because I think, especially in the early days, I think your worth and you measure your business success by your income. And so if you're not bringing income in, even though, you know, you're doing all the things behind the scenes, you are spending time doing the marketing, it does feel like if you're not bringing in the income, you don't feel quite as successful, even though starting a business is, you know, a massive achievement in of itself. So I think I would have stayed in just a little bit longer to make sure I had a bit more consistent income coming in. And advice would be, like I said, don't get taken in by the really shiny marketing. Do your due diligence and really think about the people that you're working with. So, like, the biggest mistakes that I made was working with young single women, you know, who didn't have kids, who weren't, you know, didn't have, you know, caregiving responsibilities. They didn't have, you know, it didn't really matter if they had like a really low income month because, you know, they'd been high earning forever, and you know they were probably living with their parents as well, so they didn't have the responsibilities that I had. So I would just say be very careful about the people that you choose to work with. And I'm not saying that they were bad coaches, they were bad people to work with, they weren't good at what they were doing, but they weren't
not the right fit for you.
They didn't get me.
Yeah, they don't understand what you're going
that's
through.
really, really important. And just because they're charging like 4 figures doesn't necessarily mean that it's worth it. You know, because I have worked with people who like might only charge, let's say, 500 or 600 quid for like 6 weeks coaching. And because I used to look at that and think, oh, well, they just can't be as good as that. So if I pay the extra, then I'm shortcutting. But actually, those people who, you know, there's so many.
They're just not charlatans.
Yeah. Do you know what? Pricing ties us all up in knots, doesn't it? Pricing is just like, it's one of the worst parts of running a business, because it's like, there's just so much, because it's like, yeah, you've got to cover your basics. But then it's like, oh, but, you know, am I really worth that bit extra? Am I? And it's like, oh, but what if people look at that and think that's not enough? Or what if people look at that and think it's too much? And it's just, pricing
you
is
guess
just a
every
nightmare.
decision, don't you?
So you just, try and do your due diligence. And there's no overnight successes. There's no silver bullet paying 10 grand to work with someone is probably not going to get you 6 figures in 6 months unless you have really extraordinary circumstances. It's not going to happen.
I think that's really good advice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The £500-600 one to do a really good substantial marketing course or business training or whatever it is that you're wanting to develop for yourself, for your business, is probably about right for someone's services.
For me, what I needed the most help with and have paid for the most help with is how to speak to my ideal client. And I think when you know who that person is, it's so much easier to sell.
She's got it. I picked up one of her leaflets the other day and I went, how did you know?
Oh my God, it's me! And then signed up for my 7-day reset. But it's taken me what year? It's 2026.
What year is it?
5 or 6 years to get to that point. It's probably only the past year that I've really felt confident with who I'm actually speaking to and who I'm targeting.
Maybe you needed that growing time. And,
I think so.
And you needed that confidence time and developing your own self-time. And I know you said about staying in corporate that little bit longer, but I was wondering that somebody might be sitting there now. There is never a good time to give up a reliable salary. So actually, maybe if you want to get a bit of savings behind you or do that extra month, but then you'll always have that money coming in.
There's always going to be a drop-off.
Decide, do it, get out of it, because that motivation of that wage not coming in that month will make you get on with it.
And also, like, it's so hard to build a business when you're working full time.
Exactly, and then you've got children as well, so you can't be just like taking your evenings and taking all that time. So
you're risking burning out or resenting your business. Yeah,
maybe I'm too much of a risk taker.
Maybe.
Do you know what? I thought it was about half an hour. We've been talking an hour and a minute.
I know.
Wow.
Kim, that was brilliant.
It's gone too fast. And
thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. That was so good.
It's been lovely. Really interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Let's do it again in a bit and find out what the next phase is and what the next
we could do
step is and how we evolve. Yeah, maybe next year, how different it looks.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Quite cool.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim.